Greetings, dear hearts. How are you? Ms.D here, checking in. Haven't made a video in a little minute and thought I'd just let you pop into the craft room with me and just hang out. Today I have a few projects that I started that I have to finish, and so I thought I'd let you hang out with me. I'm playing with my webcam that I recently purchased, trying to see how to best make videos with them. Right now we're just cleaning up the desk so that we have a clean space to work on. In my absence, since I've been gone, I've been doing a lot of painting. I have posted a couple of the pieces of work that I have done. I've been painting with acrylics, and I really have found that I love it, but I am a hands-on kind of crafter, so I've been mixing acrylics and cardboard together and making crafts. The one thing I do find, and so I'm scraping a little bit, is it wreaks havoc on the mat, get paint everywhere. But I think I'm just going to go with that because I'm enjoying the process so much that I'm not going to worry about this mat. We can always get another one of these or cover it. But right now I'm just cleaning the surfaces off and kind of want to show you a couple of the things I've been doing. I've been introduced to a whole new world since I've been playing with the acrylic paints, and wanted to invite you to see what's going on and finish a couple projects. So if you're interested, I hope you'll come on back and see what's going on in the craft room. Oh, I'm so glad you decided to come hang out. Yeah, so this will not be a intense how-to or anything like that. It's just Ms.D putting around the craft corner and tidying up some projects and just enjoying the space and the whole crafting ideas that come to me. Can you see this? This is a new medium that I've been working with. It's called art journaling or craft journaling, junk journaling, all those things, multimedia books, or parts of the things that I have been playing with in the last couple of weeks. What this really is just a regular planner notebook that I have gotten busy crafting. I've been painting with acrylics and have lots of scraps left. I'm using cardboard as my canvas for a lot of these paintings and wanted to use the leftover materials. And so one of the art pieces that I was crafting was this painting of a door, a house with this door, and I loved it. Let me see if I can find that and let you just see that real quick. So I haven't learned to work this camera really well yet. I'm using a little webcam I bought off of Amazon. This is coming across a little dark, but this is a canvas that I painted. First, this background scenery, the sky and the grass and all that, and then I had painted the house with the door, and I loved it. I'm like, that is beautiful. So I went to recreate it. I was going to paint it again and use cardboard to 3D the pictures. Now this isn't a finished product, it's in the works, but the door that I have on my journal is a takeoff of this door that I had painted. But don't you just love this? This is some of the painting I've been doing. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about this brickwork that you see here. I'm loving making that. And then 3D flowers. I'm taking my cardboard and adding it to acrylic painting and loving what I'm coming up with. I'll show you this again sometime when it's completed. But that's where the door came from, the idea for the door for my journal. I really find myself loving to work on the doors. So I just simply took some cardboard and shaped the door, painted it, added a few embellishments, and made a door to my journal. Now, the journaling is new for me. Multimedia journaling is new, so I don't have very many pages done. This is the latest page I'm working on. I'm going to do a little painting on this, but I just kind of wanted to show you the one project that I did get in there. Trying to find the best way to show you on the camera. Isn't that pretty? And it's just acrylic painting, some of that brickwork I was talking to you about, and an old graduation card that I had received some time ago after I got one of my degrees. And so I just embellished it, painted it, and added some things to it. It's not all the way finished. It's the first thing that I have done in the journal, and I just was practicing using the journal, and I think I'm going to like it. What you see over here is again the door. I'm in the middle of trying to make a project, and I was practicing making the door and practicing the window that I'm going to have alongside of the painting that I have. So I used the journal for practicing techniques, saving some materials that I have had. I find this to be neat, very, very neat. Just want to share with you some of what's been going on while I haven't been here uploading how-to craft videos a lot lately. But I am in the craft room doing things. That's one of the projects that I've been going. I showed you my acrylic painting. And I also wanted to share real quick before I start crafting here, the brick walls. I was watching Miriam, this fellow creator here on YouTube, and she was showing how to make the brick walls, and I just fell in love with it. So I've been making brick walls left and right. Doesn't that look really realistic? And so I use them on the crafts that I'm painting now. Here's what it looks like before you paint it up. Still learning to work with this camera. And then I'm planning on doing some columns too. So I will be doing that. If you're interested in any of the three things I just showed you, some acrylic painting, some acrylic multimedia work, or creating an art junk journal, please comment below and let me know, and I can do a how-to on how to do these, especially these brick walls. I love them. So that's some of what's been going on in my absence from making a whole lot of videos. I find that it's harder to be learning something and recording as you're learning. So I just have been here playing with things and not making videos. So what I am up to today is I have a piece of cardboard that I've already back painted. I just took some of my acrylic paint and covered the cardboard. I find that the paint holds on the cardboard a lot better if I pre-paint the cardboard. And so what I'm going to do today is see if it needs another coat, and it does need a little touch up. I'll give it that and then let that dry so I can do another project, painting project, acrylic painting. Do any of you paint? Do you use acrylics to paint? I'm just pouring the paint straight on the canvas, on the cardboard, and gonna brush it on where it needs a touch up. I have been messing around with the idea and wondered how people felt. Do you call painting crafting, or do crafters frown on that and say if you're a crafter is things that you make DIY and other, or is painting part of it? For me, all of it's crafting, and especially when I'm doing the multimedia work where I'm adding some of the things that I create right onto the canvases. So I do call it crafting, but I'm curious to what other people think. That's one of the reasons I kind of slowed down with the videos, is I started painting and I didn't know if the crafting community would accept that as part of crafting. But I decided here on this channel that I'm going to do the things that I love, and I'll show. People don't have to watch, but I'll make videos, but I'm gonna not let being a YouTube creator or videotaping to share take away from what I really do and love, and that's playing in all areas of the art. Okay, I'm gonna just set that to dry. Got that kind of evened on. And since I've kind of talked a little bit about what I'm doing, I got a project that I'm playing around with that kind of shows what I've been up to. Multimedia work, basically. So what this is a canvas that I pre-painted, some of Ms.D's artwork, and I'm going to just add some other components to it. Of course, I'm going to get me one of those brick walls in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and work on this project and let you kind of peek and see. See if it might be something you would be interested in. Try to get the camera set up in a way that you can really see what I'm doing. First thing I'm going to do is kind of trim up the sides of the cardboard. So this is just pre-painted with some acrylic paint. Right on top of my cardboard. I'm doing cardboard first, making my work, sketch it, art, and then if I really like it, then I'll transfer and do the same again on some canvas. I have lots of cardboard around, so it doesn't cost anything for me to be learning a new skill, because I am no painter, but I find myself really loving it. And so my cardboard comes in handy. Just shaping up the side edges. I'm really interested to know what other people are doing in their craft rooms. Are you learning new crafts and skills, or are you doing the same projects or types of projects that you have been doing? Are you enjoying them? Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're doing. I love to learn, and I'm watching a lot of videos and learning and finding new crafts every day, and it excites me. Alright. So you can see that I've kind of did a faded sun image on this one. But what I want to do is get some sky in there before I add my other pieces. Some sky and maybe some grass. So I'm just going to pull out a little paintbrush. I think I'll get a little bit of clean water. Keep the brush kind of clean. And I'll get a little palette going on to mix paints. You hear me using art terms? A palette. Let's see. This will be good for a palette. I find I do use what I'm calling palettes to do art on after they get done. Some of the colors are so pretty that you can turn them into art. The little palette that you use for getting your paints out. I feel like I'm gonna have to make a Walmart run to get me some more acrylic paint. I didn't know I was gonna fall in love like this. So I'm just putting out a couple shades of blue for my sky. Put a little green out for my grass. Ooh, that's a lot of green. And you always could use some white. All acrylic paint that you get really cheap from Walmart. I was telling my daughter today, I think I'm going to buy some big jars of paint because I'm really enjoying this. Alright. Have my trusty little baby wipe over here to wipe my brushes off as I change colors. And I'll just start with the sky. I don't know that you can see me do the palette work, but we'll worry about that in a how-to. This is just hang out with me, so I'm just mixing some colors over here, a little of the blue and the white together. Start working on my sky color. What I should probably do is cover my desk. At least the top. I find I spray cardboard a little bit, the paint moves a little better. Learned a lot in a few short weeks with this painting business. Something I'm really enjoying. It's relaxing for me. Yeah, I haven't painted and had the camera running yet, so I'm not talking much. I'm just getting into it. I find it so relaxing. Cool. Do a little of the grass. Might have got a little too much water on the canvas, on the cardboard. I think I'll dry that up just a little bit. The water does help the acrylic move better though. I've been watching Ginger Cook and Cinnamon, her daughter, do acrylic painting here on YouTube, and taking a few tips and learning a lot from watching their videos. Not a master painter yet though, but enjoying the process of just painting. We'll fill this in later as I'm going. Now I'm just trying to get the color foundation down. I'm going to finish painting that out and I'll come back. I've kind of let the paint dry a little bit, and while I'm waiting for it to finish drying, I think I am going to put one of the brick walls down, and so I need little small pieces of cardboard cut like this to make the bricks, and so I thought I'd let you see me working at that in case you wanted to make some bricks, fencing or walls. And so all this is corrugated cardboard, the kind that's kind of soft, and I'm just cutting them all not exactly the same size, but about the same size and about the size of what I think a brick would be like for the small wall that I'm going to build, a small fence. They're shooting all over the place, but I'll gather them up after I get a few cut out here. So you just cut these out. I'm just going to stop right here and show you. Make sure my glue gun is plugged in. What we do is get a strip that is the size of the wall that you want to have. So I'm thinking maybe cut some about this high up would be a nice wall. And then all we do is glue the pieces on and then paint them to get the brick look. So there's a little art to that, little technique to the gluing. I love making these brick walls. There's something about it that I'm really digging. So what we really want to do is take and get the glue on the cardboard. You can go a little at a time if you want. I go row by row, and you just, can you see that right there? Down here. Just put the brick on. The first one, you kind of want to leave a gap from the corner. Let me see if I can get that up high where you can see it. So the first one, we want to leave some space at the end. And then start just lining them up, making a slight gap between each of the so-called brick, and just line them up. And then you start the next row. And do the same thing, but the first brick you bring all the way to the end this time. Then stagger the bricks so that you have a zigzaggy kind of line, that the bricks don't all line up. If you notice a brick wall, they're always kind of stacked off of each other. I'm going to continue that, then I'll come back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I've glued all the little pieces onto the cardboard, and then all we want to do is spread some Mod Podge across the top. And sometimes you can get a more brick look if you take like parchment paper or plastic paper and put it over the top before you paint it. And then you get a more brick look. So I'm going to do that. Take a couple pieces of the parchment paper. And then I'm going to just glue that on with some Mod Podge. Let's use Mod Podge because it'll dry clear. So we're just going to spread that on. Then take the paper, lay that on both ends. It helps when you're painting. If you do that, you get more of a brick look. Do the same to this one. Then we just lay some Mod Podge across the top. Work it in the grooves, the spaces in between. Then I kind of let that dry a little bit. kind of let it dry, and then I'll mold it in between the cracks a little more. Let that dry. Do a little molding after it dries. Saves time here. I have some too that's done already, that I did that and just painted the bricks. If you want more detailed on how to make the bricks, leave me a comment, and then we'll spend more time with it. But that's basically what we do with it, what I just showed you. Okay, and I'm just gonna glue those onto the board. Using my hot glue gun, because this is a little bit thicker cardboard. A little glue on the board, help it stick. And do the same thing on the other side. There, and then we have our brick walls. You can get more detailed and fancy as you go. That's the basic. Okay, and I'm just going around making sure all the ends are tacked down really well. Just going to hold it, and from here I'm just going to start adding the other embellishments. Put a little weight on this. Keep it tacked down. So just clean up a little bit the painting. I'm going to touch up my sky a little bit. Because it's dried, it's easier to work with. I want to make it a little bit darker in the corners. Try to get some true sky effect. And that's just mixing that darker blue with the light blue for my corners. Fade it on in. Then what I wanted to do was try to make a mountain effect look. So I'm just going to glue this down. And then just I'll work some decoupage over it as I go. Trying to make it look like I have a little mountain and then a little mountain range. Clotting is blue over here, but guess it's working. So try to look like I have a mountain range. We'll touch that up with some paint. Okay. Kind of look like a little volcano-ish. And I'm going to rough the mountain up. So put some kind of texture on the mountain itself. This is what I call multimedia, where you're doing the acrylic painting, but you're adding texture with different pieces. What I'm at now is I had a coffee filter that I just dried up some of the grounds and let it soak, and it gave color. Then I ripped it up just to kind of give the mountain a little texture. Just a little texture. How's that looking to you? Interesting? Yeah. I'm going to let that dry, and I'll maybe come back and add a few more details to it, or I'll be sure to let you see it, the completed process when it's all done. But this is basically what I wanted to do. So until next time. Oh, you know what? I think I'll add another piece. I have this airplane that would look really cool flying up there. I think I'll fussy cut that while this is drying. We'll put this over to the side, let it dry. And then finish cutting out the airplane. So I have the airplane and the finish those bricks. So what I was saying about the bricks is I would poke into between the spaces. That allows for when we paint, we get that rough look that we had. It accepts paint so much better that way. Just running my fingers in the cracks. Okay. That's ready for painting. I'll give more details if you want those on the paint colors and layering of the paint for the bricks. If you want more, just say something in the comments and I'll do that. Other than that, I'm going to keep moving on. I'm going to fussy cut this airplane. Can you see that? So airplane I got off a grocery bag, and I cut it out, but now I'm going to, what I call fussy cut is deep cut all the extras out and then glue it to our page. I'll do a little bit and then I'll pause it so the video's not too long for you. Having a little problem with my knife. Okay. Excuse my fingers, they have glue and paint all over them, but nobody ever said crafting was a neat job. So fussy cutting is, I'm just going to do deep, very precise cuts, and I'm just cutting out all the extra. I actually cut this image off a paper bag that came from Trader Joe's. And I saw there's a few images on their bags, and I just loved it, so I'm gonna create it. Put it in my scenery. Lots of time you'll find focal points on packaging. You can just cut them out and use them for your art. So if you can't really draw, this is another way around that. I don't want to snag that, so I'm just move to the next side and I'll come back and get that last little detail off. But these you want to be very detailed with. Okay. I'm going to finish that fussy cutting, take some time, and then we'll come back. Okay, I finished cutting all the details out, and I'm just going to add that to our project. Up in the sky area. It's starting to look pretty interesting. I think I might even want to paint that. Get it on there and maybe paint it. But that's multimedia, acrylic painting, and decoupage. Let me see if I can tack that, let you get a good look. I haven't glued that all the way down yet, but I wanted you to be able to get a good look, because I'm going to give some more drying time. What you think? You like that? Acrylic painting, multimedia style. Ms.D could work her camera, she'd be awesome. I hope you enjoyed watching me in the craft room as I just put through. I'm going to wrap this up here now. Maybe come back to this project a little later. You'll probably see it hanging around the art studio in its completed state. But this was just what I'm doing in my craft room, checking in with you. Hope you enjoyed your visit. I'll see you real soon. There it is, just about completed. Some last little accessories I would put on there, embellishments that I would put on there, but there it is, side by side to the piece that was the inspiration. These are works in progress, and one of the reasons I didn't continue to just make videos is that they take time. They need drying time, they need time for the ideas to form. And so what I think I'll do is, because I'm loving working on these kind of projects, is continue to work and show you as we go along, and then do a gallery tour of finished projects once I'm all completely done with my acrylic multimedia art. Hope you enjoyed. See you real soon. Bye.